Most people think diesel engines can only run on diesel fuel. But what if I told you a normal diesel engine can run on alcohol? Yes, alcohol fuel made from crops like corn. And it can do it without spark plugs, without losing power, without redesigning the entire engine. Today, I will explain how this works. In simple language anyone can understand. Before we talk about alcohol, we must understand how a diesel engine works. An engine is a machine that turns fuel into motion. Inside an engine is a metal tube called a cylinder. Inside the cylinder is a piston. A piston moves up and down. Now here's the important part. Diesel engines do not use spark plugs. A spark plug is a small device that creates a spark to light fuel. Petrol cars use spark plugs. Diesel engines work differently. They use something called compression. Compression means squeezing air very tightly. When air is squeezed hard enough, it becomes very hot. In a diesel engine, air is squeezed. It becomes extremely hot and the fuel is sprayed in. The heat causes the fuel to burn automatically. This is called auto-ignition. Auto-ignition means fuel burns because of heat and pressure, not a spark. That is the core principle of diesel engines. Now let's talk about alcohol fuels like ethanol and methanol. These fuels burn cleaner in many ways, but they have a problem. They resist auto-ignition. That means they need more heat to start burning. Now we must understand something called energy density. Energy density means how much energy is stored inside a fuel. Diesel has high energy density. Methanol has lower energy density. This means to get the same power, you need more methanol. In fact, methanol requires about 2.3 times more fuel injection compared to diesel. Fuel injection means spraying fuel into the engine. If your fuel contains less energy per liter, you must spray more of it. Alcohol also needs a higher temperature to ignite. That means the air inside the engine must be even hotter before alcohol can burn. So normally, alcohol doesn't work well in diesel engines. It won't ignite easily, and it needs more volume. That's the challenge engineers had to solve. Now here is where things get interesting. If you're enjoying this explanation so far, and you like learning how engines really work in simple language, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Engineers did not completely redesign the engine. They changed one key thing: temperature. Most modern diesel engines use a device called a turbocharger. A turbocharger pushes extra air into the engine. More air means more power. When air is compressed by the turbo, it gets hot. But normally, that hot air passes through something called a charge air cooler. A charge air cooler cools the air down before it enters the engine. Why? Because cool air is denser, and dense air improves performance in traditional diesel engines. But alcohol needs hotter air, so engineers did something simple. They bypassed the charge air cooler. That means the hot compressed air goes directly into the engine without being cooled. This increases the intake air temperature by about 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. That extra heat is enough to make alcohol auto-ignite. And instead of replacing millions of diesel engines, engineers may have found a way to adapt them.